and welcome back to another episode of Espresso Chat. I'm your host, Casey Chestnut, and I'm joined by life sciences expert, Massimo Crudeli. Hi, Massimo. Ready for another episode?
Yes, of course. I was born ready.
Great. I know a couple of months ago you hosted a live Q&A webinar around data integrity and compliance. I thought for today's episode, we can go over the top 5 questions from that webinar.
Yes, absolutely. That was a great webinar, and I'm very happy to kind of answer those questions again for our audience.
Great. Let's get into it then. The top question we had: why are integrity and compliance so crucial right now?
Integrity and compliance are no longer optional in the industry. They are now strategic imperatives. If you look at the global regulators, for example, they are tightening standards on data integrity, electronic records, traceability, visibility, and then on top of that, the AI just add complexity to the mix. And then from an operational side, you look at the supply chains, they are more vulnerable today to disruptions, which means that data becomes crucial for making accurate and trustworthy decisions to respond to kind of any type of challenges. And if you miss any lapse in this kind of approach, it can lead to recalls, penalties, reputational damages, and even may affect the patients. So the AI adoption is just kind of underscore the fact that only when data is integrated, integral, and compliant and reliable, you can have a consistent result. Poor data means poor outcomes. And then if you move downstream, this kind of poor outcomes can affect the patient. So this is the trend. But at the same time, when I look at the industry and I have really fresh cases, there are a lot of FDA warning letters that are referring specifically to data integrity issues. Okay, so uncontrolled access, missing coding trails, gap in records, a lot of manual entry and manual procedure. Again, so come back to your question, data integrity, and data compliance are absolutely critical now in the industry, because that's the direction where we're moving, and in this kind of a digital and very interconnected world.
Yeah, makes sense. Second question I have. For a company just starting out its digital transformation journey, what are the first steps to improving data integrity and supply chain visibility?
I guess probably the first step will be a strong data foundation, not necessarily tools. Probably the most important step for company starting this journey is to make sure that they have data governance policies in place and a clear, proven master data management framework. The goal is to create a single source of truth of data, so you can feed the data into AI and get proper results. The ideal, probably from an architectural standpoint, from a technology standpoint, the ideal situation would be to have in place an integrated ERP system that kind of combines different tools like ERP, MES, LIMS system, because that will ensure kind of a seamless data flow and real-time data entry for transparency. And then once you have the global governance in place, plus a core system that is robust from a data standpoint, you can introduce automations, AI agents, and at the point you can invest in more advanced technology. But really, the first step for me is a strong data foundation, master data management framework.
Yeah, I think we covered that in our earlier topic. It does seem to be the most important piece is a strong foundation.
Yeah.
But going into our next question, how are regulators beginning to view the use of AI in supply chain data processes? And what does this mean for data integrity?
I guess that AI was a gray area, been a gray area for quite some time. And now regulators are looking into that and they are tightening their oversight because of the impact on product quality, compliance, and even patient safety. I believe that AI must be kind of a validated like any other regulated system in this industry, with transparency, audit trails, and some sort of human oversight. At the same time, AI relies on a lot of data, large, very dynamic, real-time data sets. So it's also important from a regulatory standpoint that there is a strong governance in place for this data set to prevent bias and ensure accuracy and consistency of data. So the validation framework must be kind of adjusted, updated for AI. You need continuous monitoring, you need a clear documentation of AI, and very kind of a strong control processes.
Okay, yeah. My next question, can you share an example of how improved data transparency directly led to measurable business benefits?
Oh, yes. I mean, I have many examples. In my 23 years of experience in the industry, I have many examples. But I can tell you that one of our customers, a very large global pharmaceutical company, they implemented our integrated ERP system many years ago. And the solution they implemented kind of integrates the core ERP, which means supply chain management, with manufacturing, dispensing, quality control. So they gained real-time visibility into their inventory and batch statuses worldwide. This was one of the biggest challenges before the project. They faced frequent stockouts. They had a lot of cost in expedited shipments, and also they had a lot of material waste. After the implementation, because they improved transparency and visibility, they reduced significantly emergency shipment. They cut all the inventory cost and almost eliminated the material waste. So the fact that they were able to see, data, accurate data, trustworthy data in real time, allowed them to make faster decisions and, also better allocate resources with direct results both on compliance, according to regulatory standards, and profitability.
Great, that's great. Last question we have for you. How can AI or blockchain realistically contribute to enhancing data reliability in today's pharma ecosystem?
I guess AI and blockchain technology, they can apply to the life sciences industry in different ways. AI is more about, in my opinion, automation. You can automate validation, you can detect anomalies in data sets coming from different systems. So you can help reducing errors, you can catch deviations. Also can kind of predict, if you implement predictive analytics, you can anticipate some risks, and you can provide information to make some decision and influence your supply chain resilience. On the other hand, blockchain, if you implement in blockchain, they can ensure trust and traceability of the data set. You can create some immutable ledger of records. For example, think about the batch genealogy. If you can secure batch genealogy with blockchain, you are sure that that kind of data set is trustworthy and compliant. or data, temperature data, for example. Okay, so if you can combine these kind of tools, AI to ensure accuracy, and blockchain to guarantee the authenticity of the records, both they can really strengthen compliance and patient safety in the industry.
That's great. Great. Very interesting. Again, thank you, Massimo, so much for joining us and letting us pick your brain. Thank you, everyone at home, for watching. If you want to learn more about STAEDEAN and our solutions, I have a link to our website in the captions below. I also include a link to book a meeting with Massimo himself if you want to pick his brain. But thank you again, Massimo, and I'll see you on the next session.
Of course. Thank you, Casey. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.